Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Extra Zone Arcade. Today, alright, we're one day removed from the final Switch 1 era presentation. So you know what that means. Next week, next Wednesday, just 5 days from now, the Switch 2 presentation is upon us, alright? And thus a new era begins. So, what better way to get ahead of this new era than to predict it? And to see just how closely we can guess and get into the minds of Nintendo truly as we move into a new generation. Alright? So, you read the title, you read the description, you looked at the thumbnail, most likely. Yeah, we're going to basically be predicting this stuff. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to do a bingo sheet primarily for the Direct. But obviously, we'll talk about some stuff that might be happening after that. We'll talk about what the first year might look like. We're going to talk about what some of the launch titles are going to be. We're going to talk about pretty much everything there is to talk about. Yeah. But before we get into that, we have a little bit of news here. So let's talk about the news. So what's been going on? What's been going on? I mean, obviously we had a whole Nintendo Direct. The reaction for that there was a bit of a bug that happened with the upload. So I'm gonna try and get that back up, but no guarantees. The idea though is that I can just kind of get the raw file for it and see if I can just get it back up that way. Obviously it won't show up in the live tab once it's uploaded, but it'll be on the live channel, so don't worry about that. Yeah, that'll be up. Anyway, check that out. I guess once I do get it up. But yeah, so we had a Direct, really good announcements there. We'll kind of talk about it, as they come up for this, because those, I think some of those are gonna factor into what we're seeing here. But some of the best announcements definitely were we got some gameplay for Metroid Prime 4. We really know what's cooking with that game now. So that's really great. Love the freaking that you have telekinesis in this game. Listen. If you don't plan on buying Metroid Prime 4, what is wrong with you? Quite frankly, what is wrong with you? All right, you need to hop on. You have to. You just gotta hop on. It's looking really great. There was also Marvel Cosmic Invasion, I think it was called, which is basically a side-scrolling beat-em-up pixel art game that is by the developers of Streets of Rage 4 and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. What is the name of the game again? Shredder's Revenge. That's the one. Shredder's Revenge. Really good game right there. So yeah, same developers. Really looking forward to that. That looks absolutely amazing. Those guys always cook. That team is absolutely incredible at what they do. There's the new Tomodachi Life. That's a fucking thing. No one saw that coming. Like, people have been saying for years about Nintendo bringing back Tomodachi Life, and the fact that the last game was 2013. It's been like 12 years, freaking 12 years since we last had an entry in this series, which did start on the DS, but that first game was actually Japan only. So seeing it back after all this time is kind of freaking crazy, and it's looking like they're gonna have some of the customization features that you had in the Miitopia Switch port. So very exciting stuff with that. There's going to be a ton of great memes, ton of great characters made on it. Your boy's going to stream it as soon as it comes out, but that's a next year type shit. That's some next year type shit. They're releasing it in 2026, and man, they always got to torture the Tomodachi Life fans, man. They got to make us wait. They got to make us wait. I am Tomodachi Life fans, by the way. I actually really fuck with that original game. I think it's a lot of fun. I think it's super charming. It is a Nintendo game. All right, like if there's any game that is like the perfect kind of distillation of what Nintendo just represents as a company, it's that game. Just like the wackiness, just the soul of it. There's really no other games like it. There's a lot of life sim games out there, but Tomodachi Life is just like something truly unique in and of itself. So it's really nice to see it back. Is gay marriage going to be in there? Because I remember that was a controversy for the first game, and then I think they came up with a statement like, yeah, if we make a future Tomodachi Life game, there'll totally be gay marriage. Don't worry, guys. And then they proceeded to not fucking do it. But they proved us wrong. So hey, hopefully you can do same-sex marriage in the new Tomodachi Life. That would be nice. That would be great. And yeah, so it's looking pretty amazing. Also, what else did we get? Fuck. There was something else I was actually pretty excited for, but I don't remember what it was. The Rhythm Heaven's back, so that was pretty freaking cool. No, again, another pretty dormant franchise that last had a game on 3DS. So that was really nice to see that come back, and just in general, it was a good direct. I think, you know, there was some surprising announcements in there, considering the fact that it was the last. Like, I honestly went in like not expecting anything. Like, I went in being like, okay, it's probably just going to be a bunch of really smaller titles. It's probably going to be a bunch of remasters and stuff. And for the most part, it was. But the few announcements that were major that we did get were like really good. So I think it balanced it out to being a good 7 out of 10 direct. It was solid. It was solid. But anyways, let's talk about some of the other stuff right here. So one of our headlines is that a new Tales Tube episode came out. And why the fuck did no one tell me this? None of you told me this. Now, I watched it off stream just last night. But, you know, we could have totally watched it on stream. But anyway, yeah, and we finally got the introduction of Professor Victoria, who, if you didn't know, this character was actually first teased, I want to say, like, 4 years ago in like, the very first Tales Tube episode, where they were basically talking about the difference between the Sonic anthropomorphic characters versus the human characters in the universe, and how that stuff all ties together, and the fact that you know, they'd confirmed that it is just one planet that this is all happening on. And yeah, she was one of the characters that was shown there alongside a bunch of other Sonic Unleashed NPCs, and there was I remember there was like a big thing about, oh, like, was she a scrap character for that game, or is this a totally new character type thing? And yeah, she turned out to be a totally new character, and then it's like, it was radio silence on who the hell she was, and just a bunch of kind of hand waving and signaling as to like, okay, like, is she gonna be someone important? Like, what's kind of going on here? You know what I mean? And then we finally have the full reveal here. Also, she appeared on a billboard in Sonic 3. So yeah, she finally appeared here, and basically she's an archaeologist who also does lectures at the Spagonia University. So, you know, really tying into Sonic Unleashed there. They talk about a lot of the prehistory and lore of the Sonic series, which seems to be something they're taking very seriously now, because I think on the Japanese Sonic website recently they had updated it to actually show the proper timeline of events. So that's something that they're really pushing right now. So yeah, we finally have her here. Now, I still think she's gonna be some big, like, multiverse character who's gonna, like, show up in other stuff as well. I totally think that's the direction they're gonna go, like, because we still don't know much about her. She's still kind of a very mysterious figure based on, like, what we know. But it's just weird, like, you know, it seems like for her to be in the movie and to show up in that specific form there is like, like, why'd they do that? Why'd they do that? It seems like a lot just to, like, tease something like this, you know what I mean? So I think she's gonna have a much more significant role as things go on. Whether that ends up being the next mainline game, or it's just kind of like, I don't know. We'll see. But it's just nice to finally have a bit of goddamn closure as to who the fuck she is, because, like, this has been an ongoing mystery for quite some time. So there we go. Next off is that the Nintendo Switch 2 will reportedly launch in June 25. Reportedly. And pre-orders will also supposedly start on April 9th. So this is via Insider Gaming. So obviously we have the article here. Yep, alright, cool, thank you very much. We have the article here, so it says, US retailer documents shed light on Nintendo Switch pre-order plans. Retailers are expecting they will run out of pre-order units for the Nintendo Switch 2 on day 1, despite Nintendo allegedly accumulating a large quantity for launch. That is fucking insane. People are getting ready, bro. Like, we're gearing up now. That's according to internal emails and documents provided to Insider Gaming from large US retailer, who are anticipating they will sell out of Switch 2 on the same day they open up pre-orders due to a limited unit allocation from Nintendo. According to the documents, Switch 2 is scheduled to release in June, a month that had already been widely rumored and was highly talked about by developers at this year's GDC. However, the documents do add a little confusion as to when the pre-orders go live, especially considering the Best Buy Canada leak earlier revealed that they'd go live on April 2nd. So yeah, this was another thing that basically had come out. They were saying that pre-orders will drop pretty much right after the Switch presentation. This one's suggesting it's going to be the week after. So honestly, I think it's probably fair to expect it will be within that range, either way. According to documents from US retailer, the pre-orders are set to go live on April 9th, 1 week after the Nintendo Switch 2 Direct. The documents include messaging strategy following the Direct to include pre-order coming soon messaging and a countdown clock that will end on April 9th, with an exact time to be confirmed by Nintendo on April 2nd. The documents also included details on an exclusive collectible coin for those who pre-order the console. Oh! Now, is that going to be available worldwide? Probably not. But yeah, maybe there'll be different pre-order bonuses depending on where you get it from. Whether or not Best Buy Canada's leak was a mistake or not is unclear, but the company did promptly remove the information after it started circulating online, which means, yeah, it was a mistake. Someone fucked up, and it's probably going to be absolutely... Someone's kneecaps are definitely about to get bashed in by Nintendo. In any case, though, pre-orders are almost certainly going live within the week of the Direct. Yeah, like I said, it seems pretty likely it will be within that week. Will you be buying the Nintendo Switch 2? Of course we freaking will. Like, what? I'm reading this article. Of course I'm gonna buy it. Next off is that very weird, just out of nowhere. Like this could have been in the Direct. All right. Like when they talked about the part where it was like, hey, we're gonna talk about something that isn't to do with games. They totally could have included this in that segment. Be like, have freaking what's the director of Zelda's name again? I forget his name, but have him come up next to Miyamoto and be like, wait, I have something else to announce. Don't go anywhere, all right? The Legend of Zelda film drops March 26, 2027. Listen. And yeah, it's actually happening, bro. So we finally have a release date. And yeah, this is going to be the live action one by, what's his name? Wes Ball, I think. Who actually is a very big Zelda fan, but I think also they have Avi Arad as a executive producer. And if you didn't know, that's the guy behind a lot of the Spider-Man films, and he's also been pretty controversial. He's also been pretty controversial within the Spider-Man community for, you know, really pushing for the commercialization of the character, which means a lot of the projects he's led have kind of suffered for that. Most notably Spider-Man 3. Because he really pushed to get Venom in there, which allegedly Sam Raimi didn't want, which is what led to that movie kind of being a little all over the place. Even though I love it, I love Spider-Man 3. I don't think it's the best movie of the trilogy, but I think it's the most fun watch. But anyways, that's completely off topic. So yeah, March 26, 2027. Do you know what else is coming out in March 2027? Sonic the Hedgehog 4. And that's coming out on March 19th. So, yeah, these movies are coming out 1 week apart. Which one are you guys going to be watching? Now, me, I'm watching both. All right, listen. Like, do I even have to? Did I even have to say that? Like, I'm gonna watch both. Like, you gotta be joking. So yeah, we're gonna have kind of a video game movie Barbenheimer moment. At least I hope. But knowing Sonic fans, they're probably just gonna try and fight the Zelda fans for no reason. Because, you know. Of course. I've noticed that about the Sonic fan base. They're a very standoffish bunch, aren't they? They're a very standoffish bunch. I don't think Sonic will ever have a like we could have had that with Mufasa. I mean, sure, Mufasa was like cringe, but you know, instead it was war. And the Sonic fans lost. Okay, and the last headline we basically have here is that Nintendo has quietly confirmed the Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games are a thing. So this has been a long speculated idea, which is basically that what was I gonna say? Right, which is basically that obviously on top of the Switch 2 being backwards compatible with Switch 1, which is already confirmed, some of those games are also going to be enhanced for Switch 2, hence Switch 2 editions. Now here's where that news comes from. So today's Nintendo Direct was quite weird, but what made the Direct weirder is that Nintendo has, unintentionally or not, revealed a couple more things about this Nintendo Switch successor that we didn't know about before. It was discovered earlier today, for example, that the Switch 2 Joy-Con does indeed have a C button that wasn't visible in the console's reveal trailer in January. So yeah, that's another thing that happened, is we actually there were promo images that dropped, which actually show the C button, which was blanked out. You can see in this image it's still blanked out here, but it was blanked out throughout the whole initial Switch 2 reveal, because, you know, they're trying to hide it, and they're gonna be like, ooh, what's this? And then that, you know, we get the big reveal for what it is during the event. So yeah, they revealed it. They revealed that it is in fact a C button, and that the hardware leaks that were happening are 100% correct. But no function for what it actually does. But if that didn't interest you, this latest discovery likely will. Nintendo revealed virtual game cards in the Direct, and the new feature has a page dedicated to it on Nintendo's site. At the bottom of the page, Nintendo says that Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 exclusive games and Nintendo Switch 2 Edition games could only be loaded on a Switch 2 system. The phrasing, as well as the clear distinction between calling something Switch 2 exclusive and Switch 2 Edition, highly suggests that Nintendo will be doing enhanced Switch 2 versions of games that released on Switch 1. Not only that, but apparently they will also be called Switch 2 Edition games. There has been a lot of speculation on the matter and even a bit of rumors, but this is the first official confirmation that seems to be pointing to this being a real thing. If so, then it's very likely we'll learn about this at the Switch 2 Direct next week. Doesn't the C stick already exist? The C button, not the C stick. You're thinking of this. You're thinking of this. We're talking about this. We're talking about this right here. This blank button right here. This is supposed to be a C button. Now we don't know what it's gonna do, but we know that it exists. And yeah, Nintendo accidentally revealed it, so that's what that is. But anyway, back to the real shit. So this is kind of huge. This is actually kind of huge. So obviously, you know, again, this has been something that's been speculated for a while. You know, is Nintendo gonna do something like Is Nintendo gonna do something like freaking goddamn? I lost my train of thought. Is Nintendo gonna do something like PlayStation and I think Xbox does this as well? I'm honestly not entirely sure. Any of you Xbox heads could let me know. But you know, on the most recent gen, you know, you can play old gen titles, but you know, with certain upgrades, whether it's like frame rate boost or it's like just a slight graphics boost and stuff like that. So you can kind of upgrade your games in a sense, in that way. Like let's take I don't know, freaking Spider-Man Miles Morales, for example. Like you have like the PS4 version, but you also have the PS5 version that you can basically upgrade to for like a small cost. So this is I'm thinking this is going to be a similar thing, and you're going to have certain Switch 1 games that can do this. I think the most obvious shoo-ins for this are going to be probably like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom. All you need to do is just have those games running at consistent 1080p, and yeah, finally Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom without any lag from foliage, and yeah, hopefully the game's running at consistent 60 FPS as well. That is probably going to be what we get first. Super Mario Odyssey, I think, is also pretty much a lock for that. Smash Ultimate, I think, is also one that could really benefit from that. Not really in terms of frame rate, but in terms of just like slight graphical boost. Especially if, you know, we don't end up getting a new Smash game quite yet. It will happen though. It will happen. So yeah, this is big. This is big and very exciting as well. Obviously, we don't know necessarily how this is going to be implemented. We don't know if it's going to be like, you know, maybe it's a paid thing. We don't know if maybe it's going to be maybe it's going to be something that comes with Switch Online, like you unlock the feature to upgrade your games with Switch Online type situation. I guess we'll see. But again, man, this stuff is going to keep ramping up, and we are going to find out. We're going to have the answer to everything next Wednesday. So stay tuned, man. Stay tuned. But before we get to that, bro, we got to do some predictions. We got to do some nice old predictions right here. We got to freaking talk about what's popping with this game. I mean, console. Same thing, you know. Same thing. Cool. So, all right, here it is. The Nintendo Switch 2 presentation bingo card. So this card is going to be specifically about the presentation. It's not going to be about the other stuff. We'll talk about that later. We'll kind of work conversations about what Nintendo's launch lineup and what the first couple years are going to look like as we talk about this. But this is going to be what's immediately happening next week. So this could be anything from like what kind of hardware features are we going to see. It could be what games we're going to see. It could be, you know, changes to Switch Online or anything like that. Like what kind of things are they going to show off in this presentation? And we can go as crazy with it as we like, because listen, I think we will have a pretty solid idea of how this thing is going to go. And my first thought is not something I'm going to put on the bingo card, but just something I think that is worth kind of framing in this way. is... Now, I don't remember exactly how they did it for the 2017, like the OG Switch presentation. But how long is this one going to be? So Switch to... Oh, fuck. Direct. Yeah, Switch to Direct, Switch to Presentation, whatever you want to call it. And what is it going to be? What's it going to be? Is this going to be like a 40-minute type situation? Or is it going to be longer? Did they give a time? It looks like they didn't give a time slot for this. Okay. All right. This is about the one. This is about the one we just had. But yeah, Nintendo's gonna have an absolutely insane year. Is this freaking bro? Why is IGN already posted a freaking live reaction to it? They're way ahead of the game. I think we could maybe expect this to be longer than an average present. How long was the OG Switch presentation? How long was that? Okay, that was an hour. Okay, I can see this being an hour. I think I can see this being like a solid hour. So how do we think the kind of allocation of this is gonna be? Mario Kart 9 is a lock? Yeah, it is. Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. Like, that was the first thing they showed. There's no way that's not here. Also, new themes, achievements, and Joy-Con mouse demonstrations. Yep, I think Joy-Con mouse is actually a lock too. I would go as far as to say they're going to show a game that is going to dedicate itself to that. Whether it's like Mario Maker 3 or... honestly, Pikmin with the Switch mouse would be kind of cool. Maybe the Switch 2 edition of Pikmin 4 will be... what's it called? The Switch 2 edition of Pikmin 4 will actually use the mouse. That could be pretty interesting. That could be pretty interesting. There's a lot of potential for RTS games on Switch 2, I think. Knuckles Chaotix BGM, Cultured Individual. This is what I'm saying, bro. It's a good soundtrack. It's a good... Are we getting Knuckles Chaotix on the Switch 2? Are we going to get Knuckles Chaotix remake on the Switch 2? Now here's the thing. I think yes. I actually think yes. It's about time. It's about time. But yeah, so I'm thinking this presentation is going to be like an hour. I think the hardware and feature end of things is going to be half the show, and then the other half is going to be dedicated to the games. And that's how I think they're going to do it. And yeah, as far as the 2017 Switch presentation goes, I think it was kind of a similar ordeal. So they're going to start with showing us what the tech is, and then we get into the games. Okay, but imagine Knuckles Chaotix sequel as Knuckles standalone game. Honestly, just give us a Knuckles standalone open world game, you know? How hard could it be? How hard could it really be to just give us that? An open world Knuckles collectathon where you search for the Master Emerald? Or just treasures in general? And you have a bunch of skins like the OVA hat. You could be movie Knuckles. I don't know. I'm just saying. If I was in Sega's bag, I would have that shit commissioned very quickly. You know what I mean? Like, yes, sir. That's the GOAT right there. Give him some respect. All right, so I think let's get some of the stuff we've already talked about out of the way. So I searched C, and the first thing to come up is fucking C Viper from Street Fighter, who is weirdly listed as a movie character here. Anyway. All right, so yeah, let's take a look at that little C button over there. Let's take a look at that little C button. Can I get like a good picture of this? Now I know Nintendo accidentally revealed it, but you know, fuck it. I'll just do this and write the letter C on it because I think that would be really funny. I think that would be hilarious. So that's how I'm gonna do it. I think that shit would be funny as fuck. Okay, let me make this smaller so that's not in the way. There we go. All right, cool. So this is what's popping now. This is what's popping now. We can crop this out. Yeah, that works. That works. Look at this. See, you gotta love whenever I do these, and I'm just like so super precise about how it looks. That's the charm of it, you know. That's really the charm of it. We'll send this to the back. And then, yeah, oh, shit, there we go. And then, yeah, so I'm just literally going to put C. I'm just literally going to put C. I mean, everyone knows what it means. Everyone knows what it means. We're gonna find out what the C button does. We gonna find out what the C button does. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be amazing. Alright, hold on. Wait, hold on. We need a... Oh, fuck. That's not what I wanted to do. There we go. There. Alright, that's the one. That's the one. That's the one. Now we can move this back up. And there we go. Look, it's perfect. There's nothing sticking out. Mario Maker 3. We'll talk about the games after. I think we'll focus on hardware first, because I think that's what Nintendo's gonna do, and then we'll talk about the games. But Mario Maker 3, I think, is definitely a good shout. I'm actually almost confident that we might see that. Like, as an actual new game announcement, we might see that. And I think... See, I almost wonder if they're going to do a Mario presentation. You know, because if you remember the last anniversary, they had a Mario Direct. So I'm kind of almost wondering, like, would they do that again for the 40th? Especially because it's going to be this is a big milestone. You know, the last one was just the 35th. Not to mention COVID, so I mean, a lot of stuff ended up delayed. So, like, could we see a Mario Maker 3 announcement here, or would they do that in another presentation? I mean, I could see it happening here. I really do. Joy-Con mouse, absolutely. Joy-Con mouse absolutely is going to be shown off. We're gonna know what the hell is going on with that. Joy-Con mouse. All right, let's see that mouse action. Let's see a mouse action. The mouse. The Joy-Con mouse. All right, give me this. Perfect. Also, I didn't mean to show it off both as the red one. We'll give the blue Joy-Con some love. We'll give the blue Joy-Con some love with this one. There we go. Crop out red. No one wants the red one. We're tired of that. We're tired of seeing the red Joy-Con. There we go. Blue Joy-Con supremacy. Okay. Yeah. There we go. I feel like that's a good crop. That is a perfect crop. All right, we're gonna put this. We're gonna put this right here. Yes, sir. Okay. Yeah. All right. Good. And then send that backwards. Cool. I might just zoom in. I might just zoom in a tad more. There we go. Oh, that's much better. You can see so much more of what's going on here. You can see so much more of what's going on here. Also, I'm gonna write mouse mode on here so like it doesn't. Yeah, there we go. You can actually tell what this is trying to convey. All right, there we go. You can just make the text a little bit smaller there. And then you know what? We'll do this. We'll do this. Yeah, there we go. Ooh, look at that. Hold on, wait. We can make it look better. No, we can't. Never mind. We can't make it look better. That's fine. This is okay. This is good enough. All right, so yeah, mouse mode is definitely about to be a thing that we're gonna see. Ooh, okay. See, this hardware-wise, this is where it gets difficult because like, what else do we know is like gonna be on this thing? What else do we know is gonna be on this thing? So yeah, we know about the mouse. We know about the optical sensor. We know about the C button. We don't know what it's gonna do, but that's what we're gonna find out. Top text, bottom text, R box. That's how you gotta have it, man. That's how you just gotta have it. You know, how else would we be able to survive truly without that? Also, that is, yeah, there we go. It was off center. Sorry. What else? So we had the freaking Joy-Con patents. Did those really show anything like that we haven't seen? Genuinely curious here. Okay, well, there's gonna be a lot more features. I think the snapping thing is fairly basic. I think we all understand that. That's, I mean, they're probably gonna show it off, but like, you know, we'll see that. Oh, you know what we haven't seen though? We haven't seen the Pro controller. We have not seen the Switch 2 Pro controller. So I'm gonna grab that. I'm gonna grab that because they have not. They're definitely gonna show it off, right? They have to. I'm using the patent, by the way, because I think it looks kind of cool. I kind of fuck with the patent design. I wonder if it's really gonna look like this. Like, I'm genuinely curious. Like, would it actually look like this? I mean, I wouldn't be mad. Okay, also, let me... I'm not liking how that's coming out. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. That's okay. That'll work. No, it won't. I don't like it. Yeah, fine. Alright, there we go. There we go. Look at me, man. I'm so particular about it. Why have I got to be so particular about it? I just don't know. I really don't know. See, the thing is, man, is I'm autistic as shit. So this stuff matters to me, okay? This shit matters to me when, like, no one else would care. Alright, and then we're gonna send... Oh, my eyes are gonna hurt by the end of this, by the way. It's staring at this fucking red-ass screen. I feel like that's a little hard to make out though, so I'm gonna use my top text, bottom text again. And yeah, we're gonna put Pro Controller. Except Pro Controller does not fit in the text box, so we gotta make it smaller. There we go. Alright, perfect. Well, it still doesn't really fit properly. It still doesn't really fit properly. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's fine enough. There we go. Pro Controller. Woohoo! Yeah, baby. Alright, good shit. Good shit. The Pro Controller. Switch controller backwards compatibility? I'm gonna... Is that something they would show off? I think maybe. I think that one's a maybe. We got to put the price in here as well. They have to reveal the price, don't they? The price and release date. I feel like that could just be one slot. Price and release date. Yeah. What picture should I use for that? But yeah, I think... I'm trying to think. Would they have backwards compatibility with the old controllers? I mean, yeah, you know what? I can see them doing it because PlayStation has that. Like, you can use PS4 controllers on PS5, but only with PS4 games. So I'm guessing the Switch 2 might do a similar thing to that, just so that, because I think a lot of people will have Joy-Cons like lying around, whether they're working or not. So they'll probably want to keep those, because I mean those things are expensive too. And the new ones are probably going to be even more expensive because there's going to be like the freaking features they already have in this thing are crazy, and it looks very high quality. Looks like a very expensive controller. Then again, it might not be, because the Switch 1 Joy-Con has like a ton of features, but then like how many of them are actually used? You know what I mean? So maybe I mean they've already stripped out the IR camera. That thing never got any use. So that will cut costs. But you know, is an IR camera cutting the cost of an IR camera like really enough to make up for the fact that there's a whole mouse in this thing? Like, I don't know. What was I gonna look up? Oh yeah, Switch 2. Let's just do a generic Switch 2 picture. Actually, yeah, we'll just do the pick. We'll just do the basic pick. There we go. Switch 2 has to be £350 at least. Yeah, it will be. It will be £350, $400. I 100% think that's what it will be. Like, I would genuinely be surprised if they charged less for it. But I could also see them charging more. I know that's an uncomfortable conversation to have, but like there is always the possibility they could charge more. So, you know, I think that's something that's worth still thinking about. Ah. Should we predict the price specifically? Because yeah, I mean, I'm thinking $400. Yeah, $400, £350 is like pretty much what seems likely. I think a lot of the like analysts and everything and all those guys are saying that that's the case as well. But yeah, let's do. Hold on, where is it at? Where is it at? Do I have a pound symbol on? Oh, I do. I was gonna say, do I have a pound symbol on here? There we go. Yeah, $350 to $400, and then June 2025. Yeah, I mean, listen. I can really see this happening. I really can. I think it does just make sense. And yeah, I mean, again, it's like you know, based on what Nintendo's done in the past, it doesn't seem unreasonable. It doesn't seem unreasonable at all for them to go this route. Okay. If they charge the same as a PS5, I'm gonna cry. I don't think they can. I don't know if they would get away with that. Because at the end of the day, like, it's still a handheld, and like, regardless of whether or not like we think it matches the quality of that, which I mean, obviously I think it will, because at the end of the day, the PS5 is a $500 console because of all the gigashits per megafart that it can output, and not because of the actual quality of the games. Nintendo has games that I think that warrant that price, but obviously that's still a very hard pill to swallow. That is a lot of money. And for a lot of casuals, that's a shit ton of money too. So like, I don't think they're gonna want to do that either. Like, it's one thing. I don't think they can do it, but it's another thing where I straight up don't think they would want to do that. Nintendo always wants to be the budget system. So I mean, this would be. I'd genuinely be shocked if it's anything more than this. I would be shocked if it's anything more than this. But you know, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like I'm not buying it anyway. This shit could be $1,000 and I would find a way to buy it. You know what I mean? Even though I don't have that kind of money. At least not that I can just throw away like that. Plus games. So yeah, I think that would be the price. That'll be the release date. I think it's pretty likely. Bet it's going to happen at this point. In my initial prediction, though, I didn't think it was. I was thinking it would be like September, because June just seems a weird time. Like Nintendo like rarely does. Nintendo hasn't done a summer release for one of their consoles since their SNES. Actually, that N64 in Japan released in like spring, didn't it? Which I guess still isn't a summer release. But when did the 64 came out in like May, or was it April in Japan? And then in North America it was like September. So I guess if you want to count September as summer, then like maybe, but like I would say summer is like June to August. And like September to November is fall. And then you have the holiday season for December. Actually, no, full season for games is like September to October, and then November to December is the holiday. Those are holiday releases. So yeah, I think in terms of like the console itself, those are going to be the major things we're going to see. I don't think Nintendo's going to give us specs. Like, I know we all want to know what the actual specs of this thing are going to be, but I think at this point we already have a pretty good idea. So it's like I don't even think we need to guess. It's more just like when we see the games, I think that's when we'll know, like, okay, all the reports that came out before were kind of accurate. Like, it's kind of PS4 Pro level, like Xbox Series S kind of that kind of level of power. That's what pretty much all the reports said. So I could see this being around that too. And yeah, the games are going to show that. But yeah, I don't think Nintendo themselves are going to put the specs in the presentation. That seems like the kind of thing we'd maybe find out afterwards. I think that's the kind of thing we would find out afterwards, maybe in some kind of press release. But yeah, they're not gonna put that in the direct, I don't think. So that's something I think we can skip over. I feel like they're gonna do something with Switch Online. They're gonna show something to do with Switch Online. Like they're gonna put like another expansion, or they might add another tier to it, which I don't want to happen, if I'm honest. Unless there's something they could do to really justify, like add fucking support for like GameCube up to Wii U. That's the only way I'd ever buy another tier for Switch Online, is if they have literally everything from GameCube up to Wii U on NSO. And also if their online stops sucking absolute shit. You know, that would also be another thing. Let me think here. What could it be though? Like what could they add to this? Download play would be nice. And that's something I think they could get away with locking behind Switch Online. I think they could get away with that. But download play is like something that I think is definitely needed. I get why they don't do it, because obviously, you know, money. they're gonna take the option that makes them the most money. But they should take the option that like I want to see. You know what I mean? Which is the one that doesn't cost money. At least not like in that way. You know, you're paying with the subscription still. So Nintendo's still getting their money for their games, and for other people playing them. But it's just not in such a direct way. And you know, I think I think I would be able to get behind that. I don't know how everyone else feels about it, but yeah, I don't know. Is that worth putting on him? Is that worth putting on him? I don't know. I just feel they're gonna do something with NSO. I'm just gonna put that they're gonna do something with NSO, and this won't be the only NSO slot on here. Also, that is not the NSO that I know. Okay, Nintendo Switch Online. So yeah, they're gonna do something with it. They have to. I think there's 100% gonna be something. And I don't know. There's a lot of ways they can go about this. There sure are just a lot of ways they could go about this. All right, and I think this is gonna go up here. There we go. All right, cool. Nice. Look, that fits in there so nicely. All right, that fits in there just so nicely. You know what? This doesn't really go into. This isn't really the hardware type thing situation. You know. Oh, you know what though? Actually, the UI. They're gonna show us the UI. I'm gonna use one of those like crazy mock-ups that like looks absolutely insane. Like what the fuck is this? Star Fox Crusade? They went crazy with this one. Can I just... I'm not going to put this on the thing because I think it looks a little too ridiculous. But like this... I mean, just look at this, bro. They're not going to do this. This looks more like... Brother, this doesn't even look like the Switch. This is the Wii U 2. This ain't the Switch 2. This is the Wii U 2. Is that fucking Street Pass? They actually should add Street Pass back. That would be kind of fucking cool. They should actually put Street Pass on the Switch too. I kind of want that now. I actually kind of want that now. Can we do that? I kind of fuck with that idea actually. See this one I think looks a lot more. This one looks a lot more tangible, I think. This one looks... I like the look of this one. Wait, can I give credit? Who made it? Fan art. Is this the user? I don't know if this is actually the guy who created it. But anyway, this is where I got it from. The Switch 2 concept leak. Are ye ready for the Switch 2e? That was cringe. Sorry about that. Let's just paste it in there. I feel like this. Yeah, this looks pretty convincing actually. I could see them going with this. I could totally see them going with something like this. Like, it still looks clean, but things have just been kind of shuffled around a little bit. Which is pretty much seems to be the theme with the Switch 2. That pretty much seems to be the theme with the Switch 2. All I want is achievement system, and we used a styled menu theme, one with all the Miis around the world. That would be cool, but I think Nintendo has made their stance on that pretty clear with the Switch, which is that you know, the menus are simplistic on purpose so that like it doesn't take that much processing. Because think about how fucking long it takes for the Wii U to boot up. You know, we've all been there. All right, everyone who owns a Wii U knows how fucking long it takes for that thing to boot up, and especially how long it takes to get into games. The Switch menus were specifically designed to combat that. So I can't see them going back to menus that are like super complex. So like something like this concept I think is like perfect, because it's like it looks better, but it's nothing that's like more. It's nothing that's doing much more than what the OG Switch was doing. You know what I mean? So this just seems likely. Now do I want cool menus with a bunch of like things happening and different themes and animated wallpapers and stuff? Yeah, I absolutely fucking want that. But like we're not getting it. We're not getting it. That said, though, I do want to talk about themes in just a second. I am going to talk about themes in literally just a second. So, you know, don't worry about it. Because I do think they've been listening. They've clearly been listening. They've shown us that. They've shown us that much. They have been listening. So, yeah, we'll save that for a second, though, because I just need to... Ooh, there we go. I'm going to put a little stroke on this one so that you can actually see what it says. We're going to do UI reveal. There we go. Yeah, they're going to show us what the UI looks like. And I think, yeah, it's definitely going to have, like, still the kind of clean vibe that the Switch has. But I think themes, bro. I think themes are going to happen. Finally. I genuinely do think they've listened. They added folders. That was another complaint that people had. So that was added to Switch 1. So, you know, it's nice to actually have, you know, some shit that... What the... Oh my god. That theme is fucking baller. Look, I gotta show this. Look at this. This shit goes hard. This shit goes hard. Now, I don't need it to be anything like this. Honestly, you could just do some basic ass colors or just like a gradient or something, and that would honestly be enough for me. But like, actually having pictures that are like based on the game would be pretty cool. Or they could even do it like PlayStation and Xbox do it, where like you can... The background changes depending on what game you flip to, and like that would honestly be enough just to vary things up a bit. You know what I mean? But having like actual like proper themes would be very nice. So yeah, I'm gonna look into one of these things here. Oh yeah, here we go. Also, why is there a whole change the theme? There's a whole change the theme thing for the Switch help thing. Why is that even there? No one needs that. If you need help changing your theme on Nintendo Switch, like I don't know what to tell you. You might have some serious issues. But then again, that also sounds mean. So I won't say it, but I just did. So I mean, you know, sorry. I think after this we'll do one more handheld not handheld hardware guess. Obviously, well, I mean it will be part handheld, but you know that's not It's not the point I'm trying to make. The themes. Bring them back, Nintendo. Bring back themes, bro. Bring back themes. And then, yeah. Also, I'm just gonna... Never mind. Never mind. What was I doing? What the fuck was I doing? I'm gonna close all these tabs. I have a lot of tabs open now. There we go. Yeah, so one more hardware thing, I think, and then the rest of the 16 slots will be all about games. The rest of the 16 slots will be all about games. That's the good thing about having this bingo sheet be the size it is. Actually, I feel like there's going to be some really good game guesses now, because we've been talking about the hardware so much. All right, so. What's another hardware thing they could show? I guess just other Joy-Con features. I don't know if they're gonna add any though. If I'm honest, I don't think they're gonna add any features, at least that we don't already know about. Which is the C button and the mouse mode. I feel like they're not gonna add anything else, unless they added the fucking Smell-O-Vision from that one meme video. You know the one I'm talking about. Bro. I'm trying to think here. What other hardware-related things could they show us during this? What other hardware-related things? Just things to do with the console. Things that aren't to do with the game, but to do with the console. I want to say they would maybe show us some dock features, but I don't... They're gonna do that, obviously, but like, I don't think there's gonna be anything too interesting, you know? I don't think it's gonna be anything that we don't kind of already know. Like, it's gonna obviously upscale the games when you play them docked. That's obviously gonna run better. They're probably hopefully gonna have a LAN what am I saying? A LAN port built in, because the OLED has that, and I think it would be kind of weird if they took that away. It would be very annoying, actually, if they took that away. So please don't do that, Nintendo. Because look, I'm not trying to pay for a fucking Wi-Fi dongle thing. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to do that. Also, the official one is like really expensive for some reason. I don't know why. I don't know. I feel like these are going to be like the major ones that I think people really care about. But we're not talking about a drastically different system here, you know what I mean? So it's kind of hard. Like, how much new stuff are we going to see? But maybe it's not worth looking at in terms of like what new stuff they're going to add, but rather what old stuff they're going to update. Namely, you know, we had the UI and the themes and the Pro Controller. So what's another thing like that we could see updated? We've seen the Joy-Con grip already, which pretty much just looks like the Switch 1 version, except it has the magnets. Hold on. So controller-wise, we've seen all the main options. Is there anything else at all that I think is an absolute lock that I at least think would be interesting enough to put on here? I think this might be a minor one, but I feel like they're gonna go out of their way to prove that Joy-Con drift won't happen. But is that like would they actually would they do that though? I mean, up to this point, all they've done is just try and sweep it under the rug. So I doubt they're gonna make a big show of like, hey, look at our controllers. By the way, these are absolutely gonna be failure proof. You know, like, are they going to do that? Are they really gonna do that? Let's be honest. Fuck, man. They got me with this one. I can't even lie. I can't even lie. I could see there maybe being a mic. Do we think maybe there's a microphone? No, I don't know, because they would have showed that would have been in the patent. And in the actual leaks, because you probably would have been able to see like a microphone hole or something. So yeah, I actually don't know about that. Now that I'm thinking about it. Damn, I'm at a loss. I thought I had like... I thought I had one. Like, I thought I had an idea, but now I've like lost it now. I've genuinely lost it. There has been the suggestion, because there are USB ports on the top and bottom of the system, that you can attach another screen to it. Like if you have a second Switch 2, or maybe you could attach a Switch 1 to it and have two screens that way. I've seen that as a thing kind of floating around. I don't think they're gonna do that. It would be an interesting idea though. It would be a very interesting idea, but I don't think they're gonna do that. That seems a little bit out there, even for Nintendo. It would be nice to get a certain game library on here though. But I feel like we're not going to get that one for a bit. But I do think there is going to be a certain game library added. And you know what? You know what? Honestly, since it technically isn't a game, I'll include this as the last like hardware section thing. But look, all right. I'm just saying, bro. What did I just press? I don't even know what I pressed. There we go. It just seems likely to me at this point. And look, I know the other libraries are very incomplete. Okay. Like GBA was added like 2 years ago and they've barely done anything with it. And I know there's also the case of all the GameCube remasters they've been doing and remakes. But at this point, like, it's the next major one. Like, unless they skipped this and went straight to DS, I feel like this is absolutely a lock. And I can, if they're gonna announce it, like, I can see them doing it here. I can almost 100% see them doing it here. So that's kind of where I'm at with it. That's kind of where I'm at with it. All right, so that's all the I guess that's all the non-game stuff technically. If you want to, I mean, the GameCube NSO is a bit of a stretch. But yeah, here's what I think. I think it's time to get onto the games. I think it's time to get onto the real meat and potatoes, the stuff we're honestly all excited for. Because look, the hardware, all that stuff is cool. The price, all that stuff is cool. UI stuff, all right, very neat. But what we're really here for at the end of the day, and what Nintendo knows we're here for, is the games. All right, that's the most important thing. A game library makes a console, regardless of features. PS5. So that, you know, we got to talk about it. We're definitely going to have a lot of games to show. I think there's going to be a ton of games to show. So I think we should get the obvious ones out the way. Now, we did get a section on Metroid Prime 4 during the direct that just went. But I get the feeling that they're not done showing us stuff just yet. I could see them doing maybe something of a story trailer, perhaps. That also shows some of the graphical differences on the Switch too, because this game I think is 100% going to be a cross-gen title. You're going to get this game, and it's going to come out with the, you know, it's going to come out on both Switches. It's going to have like a version specifically for both. So I think this one's going to be one that really takes advantage of that. And we're going to see a trailer that highlights all the differences that you get with both versions. I think it just makes sense. Also, this key art, bro, is so... I don't know if I showed it off. But they revealed the box art for this game just after the presentation. Okay, this isn't the box art, but I guess this is like the cover art. But, bro, you cannot tell me this shit doesn't... Bro, they got Samus hitting the fucking Sonic 06 pose. This is bar for bar the Sonic 06 pose. It's fucking peak. Now, hopefully it doesn't suck like Sonic 06, but, you know, I think we can say with confidence that it won't. Because, you know, it's Metroid. There's never been a bad Metroid game. Well, I guess Other M, depending on who you ask. I mean, I didn't hate Other M. It was fine. It was whatever. But yeah, so I think we're going to get a trailer that focuses on the game's story, because, you know, Metroid story is important. But also graphical differences. But yeah, so we're gonna have the Switch 2 enhanced Metroid experience showcased to us. Also, let's do this one. Hold on. Add a little nice little outline to it. There we go. Cool. All right. Oh fuck. There we go. Make that shit just a little bit smaller. Okay. Yeah, man. It's so crazy to think how close we are to this thing actually happening. Samus is about to say, "It's no use!" Yeah, they straight up gave her Silver the Hedgehog powers in this new game. It actually looks so fucking cool. I can't wait, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm a day one for Metroid Prime 4. Like, I've played a lot of Metroid games before. I've only really beaten like a couple of them. So I'm not like the biggest Metroid fan ever, but like, bro, this series has been gone for so long. It's like I gotta be there day one, bro. I have to. Yeah, I have at least played Prime 1, and I've played Prime 3. I played Prime 1 to completion. But yeah, that game is really good. I never played Prime 2 though. I never got around to playing that one for whatever reason. I have a copy of it now. Actually, I got a copy of it actually fairly recently for GameCube. I just found it for cheap. I got one prediction that's going to be a bit outlandish, maybe a wireless connection thing like Spot Pass that Street Pass did. Yeah, we saw. I looked at a little UI concept thing, and one of them showed Street Pass, and I was like, I actually would be so down to see Street Pass back. Like, that was one of the coolest things about the 3DS. And given how big the Switch was, like, you'd get a ton of Street Passes, bro. You'd get so many. So, like, I would love to see that back. Now, do I think they're gonna do it? No. But it would be really cool. It would be really cool. So yeah, Prime 4 is 100% gonna get something here, I think. Like, it has to. And Metroid's always been, like, the graphics game for Nintendo. I think Metroid has always been the biggest showcase of graphics on a given Nintendo system. Like, when you think back to the series history, those are, like, consistently the best looking games on whatever platform they're on. Like, Metroid Prime 1 to this day still looks absolutely incredible. The remaster on Switch is one of the best looking games on that system. Prime 3, one of the best looking Wii games. Other M, for some of the issues that game might have, is a pretty great looking game for the Wii. Like, the series always outputs some absolutely amazing graphics. So I think this is going to be the real showcase of that on Switch too. So we're gonna basically see that happen, I think. Prime 2 is the only Metroid I ever played because I got it gifted to me for Christmas, and I don't regret giving it a try. I really got to hop on that game at some point. I don't know, but you know, I mean, hopefully if I have enough time between now and Prime 4 coming out, I'll finally get round to that game. because it's the only Prime one. It's the only Prime game I haven't played that isn't one of the DS spin-offs that no one cares about. But yeah, I played OG Metroid. I've played Super Metroid. I think I might have beat Super Metroid at one point, but that was like forever ago, and I remember it being really hard. What other Metroid games have I played? Actually, I think that might be it. I think that might be it. I think, yeah, I've played OG I played Metroid 2 on Game Boy for like 5 minutes, and I didn't like it. Yeah, let me think. What other Metroid games have I played? Yeah, I played the original, played Super Metroid, played Prime 1, played Prime 3. I played Other M. I have played Metroid Other M. But that's it. It's just those 5. Those are the Metroid games I've played. But yeah, I think I've only beaten Prime and Super Metroid, which, in my opinion, are those games are really great. Those games are absolutely fantastic. The other ones are good too, though. I just never beat them. Just never beat them. So yeah, that's gonna be there. I think the other lock is Mario Kart. Mario Kart 9, Mario Kart 10, whatever the fuck we're calling it. You know, new Mario Kart, new Super Mario Kart. Bro, watch them actually call it that, by the way. Watch them actually fucking call it that. Like, I'm just saying, bro, it's not impossible. It's not actually impossible that they call this shit new Super Mario Kart. I just oh my god, bro. The people would be fucking up. People would be mad, bro. People would be so pissed off if they did that. And now I kind of want them to, just because it would be hilarious. That shit would be genuinely funny as hell. But yeah, so this is a lock, bro. I mean, this is the first game they've shown off for Switch 2. I think it's gonna be their headline title. This game's absolutely gonna be a launch title as well. This shit's probably. I would go as far as to say they might bundle it with the fucking thing. Honestly, I think they might. Imagine they call it Mario Kart 8.5. I mean, technically we got that. That's just the booster course, right? Isn't that basically just the booster course pass? When you really think about it. But yeah, so this is going to be there. They're going to show what the gimmick of this game is going to be, because I think at this point that there has to be a gimmick. I would honestly be surprised if this is just like a straight up, like straightforward Mario Kart game. Whether it's going to be like there's going to be open world elements, story mode, or campaign mission mode, whatever it's going to be. They're going to have some kind of hook with this one, and I mean, again, after how big Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was, I mean, literally fucking over 60 million copies. You know, it's got to be, it's got to have something that will set it apart enough, where people who played that will actually be like, I got to pick up this new game. So yeah, that's going to happen, 100%. 100%. That is going to happen. Fuck, I'm so sorry. What else could we see being here? What else could we see being... Now, alright. Can we get our first crazy one out of the way? The day that Mario... Oh, okay. Message restricted. Yeah, I'm gonna throw our first crazy one out. I'm gonna throw our first crazy one out, bro. Listen, I just want a preface, okay? Is it preface or preface? Preface. That's how you say it. Fuck, I'm terrible, bro. I just want a preface, all right? I do not expect this to happen. Okay? I do not expect this to happen whatsoever. This is purely this one is purely for shits and giggles. The day that Mario Kart genuinely gets the story is the day I retire my grandpa. I don't mean like a story, but I just mean like a campaign mode with like missions and stuff. That's pretty much like think like Diddy Kong Racing had that, I think. So just think like that. It'd be something like that. But anyway, bro. Yeah. Look, okay. I know what this looks like. Oh, hey, look, the music kicked in right on time. The music kicked on right on time. It's like they knew, bro. It's like they knew what was cooking. Now, it has been it has been 7 years since the release of Smash Ultimate. Can I make it purple? Can I make it purple just for shits and giggles? Nah, you know, I'm not gonna do that. That looks kind of weird. That looks kind of strange. I'm just gonna put it back. But look, okay, see, I get it. Okay, it's been 7 years since Smash Ultimate came out. Okay, by the time this game probably comes out in like 2026, it's probably gonna have been it's gonna have been 5 years since Ultimate's DLC wrapped up. Okay, we know Sakurai's been working on something. He literally said as much in his final YouTube video. So, is it Smash? Okay, is it Smash? Knowing him, it's a very good chance, but could also not be. Could also not be. Smash is always an interesting one because this is a series that I think almost never. Actually, no, I lied. I was gonna say this is a series that almost never gets revealed alongside the console it's gonna be on, but I just remembered that literally Smash Bros. Melee and Brawl were both announced that way. In fact, Brawl went a step further. The game was fucking announced before they even started developing it. They didn't even pitch fucking Super Smash Bros. Brawl. Iwata just came up on stage and was like, "By the way, guys, on the Nintendo Wii, we're gonna be releasing a new Super Smash Brothers game." And then this motherfucker Sakurai was like, "What? Who?" Who is gonna be releasing a new Smash Bros. Game? I ain't even work on one yet. Hello? And then yeah, we ended up getting it anyway. You know, it happened after like multiple delays. But you know, that was kind of fucking crazy that happened. But listen, they don't even have to do anything crazy. We don't even have to see anything yet. They could literally just be like, okay, there is a new Super Smash Brothers game in the works, and I would consider that would be enough. That is an announcement. That isn't enough of an announcement. Like, look, I'm just saying, bro. I'm absolutely just saying. If we're getting a new Smash with Switch 2, we better get Shadow the Hedgehog as an Echo Fighter and Shiho Hinomori as an assist trophy. I don't know who that second character is, but Shadow as an Echo Fighter is an interesting case. Because he has enough to set himself apart, I think. I think Shadow would be an Echo Fighter in the same way that like Ken is for Ryu, where it's like they would share some moves that are similar, but like they're really not even echoes in a lot of ways. Like when you play Ryu versus playing Ken, they're very different characters. You know, both in terms of like their properties and animations and stuff. You know what I mean? And just like the effects that their moves have. Like Shadow would be that kind of Echo Fighter, but I honestly don't even think he would be one. I think you could make a totally original moveset with him. Maybe there'd be like one spin dash in there. Maybe you give him the homing attack, but like that'd pretty much be it. That'd pretty much be all the differences. Even then, you know, you might not even give him a spin dash. You might just go straight for boost. You might honestly just go straight for boost with him, because if we're not giving it to Sonic, then Shadow should definitely have it. But before they put more Sonic characters in the game, they need to fix Sonic himself. Like, god fucking damn. In terms of what this Smash Bros. Game is gonna be, you know, that's a whole other can of worms right there. And I do want to make a main channel video for that down the line. So maybe by that point we'll have news about what this next game is going to be, or maybe we're still going to be completely in the dark. You know, maybe there just never will be another Smash Bros. Game. I heavily doubt that, by the way, considering the fact that Smash Ultimate is the best-selling fighting game of all time, and this is like quite literally one of Nintendo's flagship franchises. Like, come on, bro. It's also Nintendo's free advertising franchise. So like, Smash, but they're not dropping Smash. Let's be fucking for real. Like, let's actually like. Let's actually keep it a stack for a second here, bro. Like, Sakurai or no, this franchise isn't going anywhere. This franchise is not going anywhere. Not anytime soon. There's absolutely going to be a new Smash Bros. Game whenever a new system releases. 100%. 100%, bro. Listen, it doesn't, honestly, it doesn't even have to be a new Smash game. It could honestly just be an Ultimate port. It could just be an Ultimate port, and they announce another fighter pass for it. Cool, alright? That is honestly all that's honestly all they would need to do for me to consider this a W. But something Smash related, I think, is possible here. Is the bottom line. The bottom line is that something Smash related is very much possible for this event. Next up. All right, we got more stuff to talk about. So, you guys have heard of the Super Mario franchise, right? You guys are familiar with the Super Mario franchise of games, right? I have a retrospective on my main channel, which you should definitely check out. But, you know, it's a series of platforming games featuring the very iconic mascot of Mario, alright? And he's a very lovable guy, okay? He's been around for 40 years, okay? This year is the 40th anniversary of that series. And it has been, and I shit you not, alright? Almost 8 years since the last 3D Super Mario entry, okay? So I think it's just about time. I think it is just about time that Mario makes his big comeback. I'm trying to find an image for this. I'm trying to find an image that will properly convey this. Hold on, there's images of Mario with a Switch there, right? Mario Switch render. There are like things of him holding Joy-Cons, aren't there? I'm trying to see here. There's not. Wait, no, there is. I found a render of Mario holding a Joy-Con. Okay. There we go. That's what I was looking for. That is what I was looking for. Bold move, new Hatsune Miku game, and by new I mean the Miku mobile game imported to Switch with button controls. Oh man, I mean, I would like to see that. I'm trying to keep it like, I'm trying to keep it just to Nintendo stuff. Like I think there will be like third-party things, but I'm gonna, for the sake of just making things simple, I'm gonna stick to mostly Nintendo stuff. So, you know, your Marios, your Zeldas, your Metroids, your Pokemans, stuff like that. But there we go. Okay. Let's do, this image looks so awkward here. Hold on, what the hell is happening? Why does it want me to type in there? Is there actually a reason for that? Is there like is there a reason why they want me to do this? Oh fuck. This is dreadful. What the fuck have I done? This is dreadful. No Metroid. There we go. And then do this. And then do that. And then do that. Okay, there we go. That looks a little bit less stupid now. A little bit. Except it doesn't, because his hat is like sticking out ever so slightly. Look, I am so sorry, bro. I know. I'm so fucking particular about this for like no goddamn reason. Okay, I'm like, I get it. I do not need to be doing all this, but I do it anyway. Okay, no, but it's off center. Why is it off center? Can we just put it back where it's supposed to be? There we go. Fuck me, man. Okay. When the fuck is there a Switch 2 press? First of all, how are you doing, man? Are you good? Are you feeling okay? You feeling okay? But also, bro, have you not been paying attention? Have you been asleep for the last 2 months, 3 months, however long it's been since the Switch reveal? It's in 5 days, brother. 5 days. Wake up. Get with the program. Holy shit. Fuck. But yeah, anyways, I can finally stop fucking around with this goddamn Mario render now. Yeah, so new 3D Mario game, bro. I think we're gonna see it here. I don't even think it's a question of if. Like, I think it is just going to happen. I think it's just going to happen. New 3D Mario. It is literally like the perfect fucking time for this game to finally come out. Yeah, I've been Bro's been napping since January. That's impressive, actually. That is very impressive. I'd be down to nap for 2 months, except for the like needing to like use the bathroom and eat thing, you know. But let's assume that that's not a problem in this hypothetical situation. Anyways, so yeah, listen, man. Like I said, it's the 40th anniversary. Okay, it's been 8 years since Odyssey. If there is any and there's a new system drop, there's a new Nintendo system dropping. Like, if there is any point in history for us to get a new 3D Mario game, it is the year of our Lord 2025. Okay, if it doesn't fucking happen, I will genuinely, okay, when I figure out what the fuck is wrong with my Twitch, I will genuinely gift everyone a sub if there is no new 3D Mario game this year. And you can hold me to that. You can actually hold me to that. When I get the Twitch back up, I will gift all of you a sub. Trust and believe I will do it. 8 years since Odyssey. Fuck off. No, yeah, it is. It is. Odyssey came out in October 2017, bro. So by the time this next game comes out, yeah, most likely it's going to be 8 years. Most likely it's going to be 8 years. It's been that long, man. It's been that long. Oh man, it's just, dude. What that is the longest gap we've ever had between 3D Mario games. Just for the record, the previous record for that was 64 to Sunshine, which was about a 6-year difference. It was about a 6-year turnaround for that. So that was the last time we had a significant gap that was this big. This is literally like the longest we've ever gone without a new one, which is absolutely insane. And I need them to like never do that again, because this has been torture, bro. And they've released a lot of stuff since, and Mario's had no shortage of games on the Switch. But like, dude, I need that 3D Mario, bro. Like, it's been too long. It's been far too goddamn long. All right, like there are very few games that can scratch that itch. You know, Astrobot was literally the closest thing we've ever gotten to a new 3D Mario game since Odyssey. So I mean. But I need Mario though. It's like, you know, Astrobot is cool, but he ain't Mario. You know what I mean? He's not Mario. I don't have the attachment to Astrobot that I do to Mario. So it's like we gotta get a new Mario game, bro. Also, I did the 100% Monster Hunter on Steam. Big update next Friday is also gonna get me busy again for sure. Damn, 100%. Let's fucking go. That was about a month, right? You took about a month to do that. That was fair dues, man. Honestly, like, I couldn't have done that. I don't have the willpower to like just sit down and play a game for that long anymore, and I also just don't have the time. I quite frankly just don't even have the time. But that's cool. That's cool. I mean, hey, if the game is the game good? You know, what's the verdict on it so far? You know, pre DLC, pre updates. What's the verdict? But yeah. So I guess, you know, could the new Monster Hunter be on Switch too? Could the new Monster Hunter be on Switch too? Genuine question. Maybe. What else could we see here though? I want to stick with Mario for a bit. And I want to do something that will show off one of the new features of the Switch 2. All right. I want to do something that is going to show off the new features of the Switch 2. And I think the best way to do it is with... What the fuck is this image? Do I use this image? This is from the Idea wiki. This is from the idea wiki, where they only have the greatest idea. Look at this. What the fuck is this? What am I looking at here? What we got the jaundice Goomba, bro. Like, what the fuck? What am I looking at? All right. So anyway, Mario Maker 3. Now, I think this is gonna be like the perfect game to show off the new Nintendo Switch 2 mouse feature. All right. Think about it. This is the perfect way to build courses. Okay, like I just think it makes sense. And also Mario Maker, the first one was an anniversary game. All right, that was for the 30th anniversary 10 fucking years ago, which is incredibly insane to think about. And I don't like that. But listen, man, it is what it is, and we can't help it at the best of times. Definitely can't run on Switch ever. Listen, man, I'm just saying. What if they did it though? What if they did it? What if they did it? I could see them maybe porting some of the previous games to Switch, like what was the last one? Monster Hunter Worlds. Like that could run on the Switch too. That could run on the, because that's what, that's a PS4 game. That could run on Switch 2. Switch 2 is like PS4 power, so we're good. We're good there. Yeah, maybe not the new one. Perfect. It's amazing. It's the best game I've ever played. It runs like ass. Optimization runs like booty holes in a booty hole. Like the best game ever, and then it just doesn't run. That's, see, for me, that would put me off a lot. Performance really fucking matters to me. So it's like if the game is like peak, but that shit's lagging, I'm like, ooh, that's like an 8 out of 10 now. That's like an 8 out of 10 now. You dropped 2 whole points for that. Like, optimization really matters to me. So like you're clearly a lot more tolerant than I am. Monster Hunter Rise launched on Switch. They simply make handheld games. They could do that. They totally could do that. They totally could do that. I mean, they had the 3DS ones, right? They should just remaster those. It's just remaster. Like, it wouldn't be that hard, would it? We've been getting 3DS remasters up the arse. They're definitely gonna do that. Definitely gonna do that at some point. And Nintendo's been working super close with Capcom, especially recently, so I can see them doing that. Speaking of Nintendo working with Capcom, Street Fighter 6 on Switch 2? Maybe. It's on PS4. It's on PS4. It could run on a Switch 2. Now I'm gonna mostly try and refrain from third parties. I'm gonna really try and keep it just to Nintendo. But like, if we have space at the end, I guess I'll just throw that in there because I can see it happening. I mean, next Monster Hunter game will be handheld. Yeah. No. I know what you mean. Like, having an actual handheld exclusive one is something is something that series has done for a bit now. So I can see them doing that again. Why not? They always switch in between mainline and handheld games every other game they bring out. Yeah, that would make sense. That would be a good way to do it. I feel like I'm already running out of ideas, which is like not good. You know what though? So okay. One of my other predictions was, I think one of the first games they're gonna release for this thing is gonna be Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom bundle. This has been one we've had in the cards for a while. I think they're gonna do a bundle, and that bundle is gonna basically showcase the enhanced version for Switch 2, because that has pretty much been all but confirmed at this point, that we're gonna have something like that. So I can see a re-release of this game that includes both of them that pretty much are like built for the Switch 2, and that would just make sense to me. I think that would just make sense to me. It is the quickest and the easiest way to show off the new power. On top of that, like one of the first things that was shown off for the Switch 2 was behind closed doors. They were doing demos, and the demo that they had that they were having publishers play was pretty much like an upscaled version of Breath of the Wild. So I could honestly see that being something they would actually release, like as a title that would go with it. I can definitely see that happening. Yeah. Now, you know, obviously we don't know if it's going to be like a... We don't know if it's going to be like a full-on remaster type deal, but I think it'll just be like an enhanced port. I think it'll just be like an enhanced port, and that's gonna be our ports for this thing. That's gonna be our Zelda ports for this thing, because we usually get those. All right, so how many slots left? All right, we got 8 slots left. That's like 8 games we can decide on. At this point, I think we're gonna rapid fire some franchises. So, Donkey Kong. All right. A lot of things have been happening around Donkey Kong recently. And it has been a while since we actually last got a Donkey Kong game. Like an actual new one. It's been 11 years, by the way. Like that's when I say it's been a while, I mean it's been 11 years. Tropical Freeze was the last Donkey Kong game. But the music stopped very nicely on time there. But here's what you don't understand. It's not going to be a 2D game. Nah. This shit is not going to be a 2D game. This shit, I guarantee you, is going to be 3D. And I'll tell you what else. It's going to be a 3D game. And it's not going to be like a remake of Donkey Kong 64. No. This is going to be like a whole new thing. This is going to be a whole entire new thing. Also, I'm going to use the movie render because they've like kind of redesigned him recently to look more like the movie. Which is another reason why I think a new Donkey Kong game actually might be happening finally. Like, bro, this franchise has been dead for so fucking long and it doesn't make any sense to me. Like, this isn't fucking Star Fox or F-Zero. This is Donkey Kong. Like, this is quite literally... This franchise made Nintendo. So where the fuck is it? You know what I mean? Like, why did Donkey Kong have absolutely no presence on the Switch outside of remasters? Like, don't you think that's just a little bit strange? It's obvious that they were trying to figure out what to do with it. But I think maybe now... they have. So I think it's finally time that they bring back Donkey Kong in 3D. It's just been far too long, dude. It's just been far too long. So, you know, like, if this whole generation goes by without a new Donkey Kong game, I would actually be shocked. My ass would be shocked, dude. I can't even lie to you. So that I think it could happen. I think as well, another franchise that I think will get a new entry in another major Nintendo franchise is another platforming series. Which, you know, you might think it might be a little bit of oversaturated. Actually, now that I think about it, does that oversaturate things a bit? And also, has it been long enough? No, I don't think so. I was actually gonna say a new Kirby game, but I think it might be too. That feels like more of a year 2 thing. That feels like more of a year 2. I think that's gonna be like 2026 into 2027 maybe. That we'll get a new Kirby game. So I feel like maybe not just yet. If we are, it's probably gonna be like a smaller thing, like a spin-off. But I don't think we're gonna get like a main Kirby game. To be honest with you, I don't see that happening. I think we should do another one of the locks. I think Pokemon is going to end up being here as well. Again, just like Prime 4, we did get a look at this in the last Direct. But I think there's going to be still more to show. I think there's still going to be just a little bit more to show. You know, and again, I think this will be another game that might be looking at kind of an enhanced version for Switch 2. I can see it being a lot less likely than something like Metroid Prime. Like, again, Metroid makes sense to me because that's always been like Nintendo's like graphically impressive series. You know, the one that really showcases like the actual power of whatever system it's on. Pokemon, it was that at a point in time, but it hasn't for a while. Let's just put it really nicely and say that it hasn't been that for a while. So I can't see it having that effect, but I can see that being a game that maybe gets just a little bit of a highlight in there, maybe just showing it being enhanced on Switch 2 as well, like Prime 4 is going to be. So that's kind of where I'm at with that. That's kind of where I'm at with that. I think we should talk about this now. I think we should talk about this now. Every new Nintendo system, whether big, whether small, whether successful, whether a flop, has had a new IP. I would be in shock if this thing goes by and we don't get some kind of new IP. Because if you remember back when the Switch 1 was announced, alright, what did they announce it with? It was ARMS. Okay, do you remember ARMS was there and they had like the guys fighting? And it looked super wacky and crazy and it was like, whoa, this is the next big Nintendo thing. And then you know, it came out and then it wasn't. I think they're gonna try a hand at a new IP again. And I fucking hope that whatever this thing ends up being is well thought out, well fleshed out, and I hope it is actually successful. I hope that whatever this new IP is going to be will actually like spawn a new franchise for Nintendo, because it feels like it's been so long since we've had that. What was the last like new Nintendo IP that actually gained success and became a franchise? Splatoon? That was over 10 years ago. Splatoon was over 10 years ago. It's time for a new big Nintendo IP. I think. It's been way too long. So yeah, new IP I think is like almost a I actually think it's almost a guarantee. I think it's almost a like I would actually be surprised if there's nothing new on this. Like it's just games, it's just franchises we've seen. Then that would be kind of disappointing, to be honest. Like, to be honest, they don't even have to show it here. Just in general, like if it doesn't happen, like, come on, man. You know, like it's been long enough. It's been long enough. And Nintendo, you're like the most creative developer out there. Like, there's no way they don't have a wealth of ideas for a new IP that could be made. You know. But obviously, it all depends on what they think will end up being successful. Obviously, ARMS. I feel like ARMS maybe scared them off from doing anything new for a while. But look, enough time has passed. I think we can start experimenting again. Especially with all the money that's been made. You know, there's a lot of money that's been made since ARMS dropped. So Nintendo's in a good enough spot financially where they could risk it on a new IP and maybe it doesn't work out. So just try it, man. Just get, like, what is the worst that could happen? What is honestly the worst that could happen? It sells less than 1 million copies. That's probably not. I don't even think that would happen. I don't even think it would sell less than 1 million copies. I mean, how much did ARMS do? Like 3 million? It didn't even like do badly. I don't think. ARMS. I like how it literally came up with an arm. Yeah. So released in June 2017. How much did it sell? 2.72 million copies as of 2023. That's not even like terrible. That is honestly not even terrible. Oh my god. But yeah. Obviously that's not enough for it to launch a franchise though, like, you know, realistically. I mean, you look at other systems that have had that, and you know, this one definitely fell behind. This one definitely fell behind. I mean, even Splatoon, I think, on the Wii U did better than that. What did Splatoon sell? Like 5 million? Okay, yeah, I just need to see the first Splatoon video game, bro. How much did this thing sell? Worldwide sales reached 4.95 million. Yeah, so basically 5 million. Basically 5 million. Which for the Wii U, like for the Wii U, that's insane. Like that's really good. And yes, Splatoon was announced to be the most successful new home console intellectual property in Japan since Wii Sports. So you know, that's all they got to do, bro. All they got to do is just sell like Splatoon 1 numbers, and that would probably be enough to actually like make it a big deal. But obviously it depends on what the quality of that franchise is, you know, like is it going to be something good? Is it going to be something that has like wide appeal? That's something that those are things that Nintendo usually gets right, but I guess ARMS just kind of didn't meet that quality. So that's kind of why it didn't do that well. Plus also, you know, it being a fighting game, obviously like fighting games are not the most accessible genre out there. You know, I think just the pure idea that it's a fighting game would be enough to put some people off. So, like, I don't know. Like, I would like to see Nintendo try their hand at a more traditional fighting game. But you know, there's other genres they could try and slip into as well. You know, what about a you know, a Nintendo roguelike or something? That could be interesting. That might finally get me into that genre, to be honest. Like, if Nintendo releases a good roguelike, that might actually get me into that genre, because like that's one that I've always like seen a lot of, but I just never. I don't know. It's just nothing that ever really spoke to me. It's never really appealed to me. You know. I don't know. Maybe if Nintendo does it good, that'll be enough to convert me over. I know it's like a really popular genre right now. So, I mean, hey, maybe Nintendo does a new battle royale. Maybe they do a whole new battle royale game. What else could we see here potentially? I feel like in terms of Nintendo, like specifically the company Nintendo. This seems good, and this is a pretty stacked launch line. I know 3 of them are Mario games, but this is a pretty stacked launch lineup. Let's say for the first like 6 months from because you know, assuming it does release in June, from June to December. If these are the games that come out, like, that's fucking fantastic. This is already really stacked. So I mean, is there even anything else that I would want to add to this? Obviously, you know, everyone wants to see a new F-Zero. Everyone wants to see like a new Star Fox. Are those gonna happen? No. Are those gonna happen? Absolutely fucking not. I'm just trying to think though. I mean, we also got some revivals in the Switch 1 showcase. Like, are they gonna show more from Tomodachi Life? Are they really gonna show more from Tomodachi Life here? I doubt it. Pretty heavily doubt that. Is there gonna be anything Splatoon? I'm gonna say most likely no, for the same reasons as Kirby, because I feel like it just hasn't been long enough quite yet. I feel like it just hasn't been long enough just yet since the last game. Granted, you know, Splatoon 2 released only 2 years after the first game. But, you know, Splatoon 3 is also, I think now... Is it the best-selling game in the series? I know this isn't really relevant, but... Splatoon series sales... Also, 30 million copies worldwide with just 3 games is fucking nuts, by the way. That is actually insane. Okay, Splatoon 2 is the highest selling game in the series, but only by like 2 million. Also, this is courtesy of the Splatoon fandom wiki, which may not be accurate. Alright, where's... okay, here's Wikipedia. Wikipedia is definitely more viable. Gameplay, setting, development, reception... Okay, and then, yeah, okay, so Splatoon 3 is, Splatoon 3 is sitting at 11 million copies, which is just 2 below Splatoon 2. We also did just get the DLC for 3 last year, so most likely, if they have started development on a Splatoon 4, it's only about a year in, so they probably won't have anything to show. So it could always just be like, they're gonna announce it, but maybe they don't have anything to show. I could even see them doing like a spread of all the games that they might have in development, but just don't have anything to show yet. And one of them might be Splatoon 4. I have no idea. There's also always the possibility of that. Actually, no, that just gave me an idea. For the Switch 1, didn't they show? Yeah, they showed this off. I think back in the first. Yeah. Oh my god, this is. Holy shit. This is from 9 years ago. This shit is from 9 years ago. Look at this, bro. But yeah, so this I think they showed this off officially. And yeah, here were the Switch 1 partners. So they might do something like that for Switch 2. They might just, I know this isn't necessarily a game announcement, but they might do something like this where they show a spread of like third-party support. You know, like who's gonna be making games for their systems. So yeah, we'll I think we'll take this into account. I think we'll take this into account for the list. I very much think this is something they can show off, just to be like, here are all the partners that we're going to be working with in this new generation. We are looking forward to the many games that they're going to release, and we hope you are too, kind of situation. You know, I can see that happening. I can see that happening. Just a quick little spread showing us everyone who's going to be a part of this thing. All right. There are 4 slots left. 4 slots left. You know what? I think these are going to be the third-party slots. These are going to be the third-party slots. This is going to be all the games that the third parties are going to show us, all right? What are those going to be? I think, So we know Sony and Microsoft are going to be having some games on Switch. But I think, honestly, I think the first thing we're going to see is this. Now, all right, hold on. Hold your horses, all right? Because I'm going to put this on screen. Bam. Now, I don't know if it's specifically going to be Warzone, but I think Call of Duty is going to be on. I think Call of Duty is going to be here. Because Call of Duty on Nintendo systems has always been like a will they, won't they kind of thing. And it's been in the cut. Like, I think Activision said they had a plan for Nintendo systems moving forward after the Microsoft acquisition anyways. So I could very well see them as like a big surprise announcement being like, okay, we got Call of Duty, we're bringing it to Switch. I think Warzone would probably be the easiest one to do just because it's a battle royale and not like a numbered entry or whatever. So just have, and this game I think is also on PS4, so like this isn't something that would even have difficulty running on Switch too. But yeah, Call of Duty on Switch is going to be an absolutely fucking huge deal, and I really do think that we could see that happen here. I really do think we could see that happen here. It just like, come on, like there's no way, right? There's no way it doesn't. There's almost no way it doesn't. The other one I wanted to put on here, shifting gears a little bit, not Gears of War, but the other Microsoft franchise. We got this boy right here. We got this boy right here. And yeah. Look, man, Halo on Nintendo Switch and Halo on PlayStation have been two things that have been very heavily rumored and talked about. Because, you know, Microsoft, they're trying to expand. They're doing their whole everything is an Xbox initiative. And the Nintendo Switch 2 is also going to be an Xbox, because why not? And so I think the easiest way to get Halo onto Nintendo systems and to get everyone introduced to the franchise is with the Master Chief Collection. All right, it just makes sense. Have those original Halo games available, and give it some nice little Switch enhancements. You know, it'd be so easy. It'd be so easy. So yeah, I can see that going down. Also, you gotta have Master Chief and Samus next to each other, the two icons right there. And yeah, you know, it just like. I listen, man. I really do think in my heart of hearts it might happen. I can see it. I can well and truly see it. Speaking of hearts, Kingdom Hearts, is that going to release on Switch 2? Yes. I think Kingdom Hearts 4 will release on Switch 2. However, are we going to see it here? No, we're not. We're not going to see it here. I think if Kingdom Hearts 4 is going to get any more news about it, it's probably going to be at a PlayStation event or like Summer Game Fest or something like that. So I still think we're a little bit of a ways out from that, but maybe. I mean, maybe. I mean, really, maybe. But I'm just not feeling it for right now. I'm just not feeling it for right this second. What else here? Oh, Dolphin Shoals. Trying to think. What about? Yeah, so third parties. What else have we got? Who's on this list? Could we potentially see any games from these companies making their way on there? I see From Software. I do indeed see From Software. I think you see where I'm going with this. I think you can already see where I'm going with this. I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me. I want you to say it to my face. And I want you to tell me that they would not do this. If you're going to sit there and tell me that Elden Ring on Switch would not be the biggest fucking thing to happen in this entire event, short of fucking GTA 6. If you were to sit there and tell me that, like, you'd be lying to yourself. You would absolutely have to be lying to yourself. Like, I could not give less of a shit about Elden Ring, but like, this shit would actually break the internet. Like, I don't think you understand. So like, Elden Ring on Switch. Yeah, no, I can see it happening, bro. I can see it happening. I can definitely see this shit happening. Like, you gotta be kidding me, man. You gotta absolutely be kidding me. Like, there's no way they don't. There's no way they don't do it. And that just leaves 3 slots. That just leaves 3 measly slots. Hold on, I'm thinking. I'm using my thinking head. I'm using my thinking brain right now. My brain it's thinking. All right, it's processing. The wheels the cogs are turning. Okay, we're processing this. 3 slots remain. And I feel like I want to use at least one more of them on a third party. Oh yeah, right. I literally had one in mind. At from the beginning. All right, so yeah, Street Fighter 6 I think might come to Switch 2. I think Street Fighter 6 has a very good shot of coming to Switch 2. I mean, just think about it. Like, it's on PS4. It's on fucking Xbox One. Like, there's no way this game wouldn't be able to run on Switch 2. It would run better on Switch 2 than it probably would on those systems. And I don't know why this image is so low quality, but I mean, I guess it doesn't matter since it's going to be zoomed out super far anyways. But look, like if there is any time for this to happen, like it makes sense for it to be now. It makes absolute sense for it to be now. You know, those DLCs are going to be coming out. Like the fighter pass is going to be the current fighter pass is going to be done by the time the Switch 2 is out, isn't it? Because when did Bison drop last year? That was in June, wasn't it? Or was it July? So either way, it wasn't long after that. So I could see them doing a Street Fighter 6 edition for Switch that has all the fighter passes like up to this point included in it. I could totally see them doing that as like a way to be like, hey, Street Fighter is finally back on Nintendo systems, like for for the first time in fucking forever. Like a new one, that is. It has been a hot minute since we actually had a new Street Fighter on a Nintendo system. And again, Nintendo's been working super closely with Capcom as of late. You know, the pretty much all of the Capcom collections have been announced at Nintendo Direct. You know, we had the Marvel vs. Capcom collection back in September. Not September, it was June. And then in September, we had the Capcom Fighting Collection 2 announced at a Direct as well. So that there is a precedent for this happening. There is already a precedent for this happening. So, yeah, Street Fighter 6 on Switch 2, I think it's a lock that this is going to happen. Are we going to see it here? That's the real question, but I think it is absolute no question this game is going to come to Switch 2. No question. Tekken 8, on the other hand, is not. Tekken 8 is not going to come to Switch 2 because that game is not on last gen. The Switch 2 would absolutely fucking break trying to run that game, and I already know it before the thing is even out. I can already see it. You know. The vision has spoken to me, and that is what I see. So that just leaves 2. That literally just leaves 2 slots. What could it be? What do we even like? What do we put here at this point? Because honestly, this stuff is everything that's here. Like this is all I want. This is honestly all I want. So at this point, what even is there left to add? There isn't just straight up memes. Is there anything left to do that isn't just straight up memes at this? Are they gonna put fucking Game Pass on this thing? You know, I actually just thought about that. They might actually put Game Pass on it. That is a possibility. You know what? I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna be bold. I actually genuinely think that might happen. Because Microsoft clearly has a good working relationship with Nintendo. That much is extremely obvious. But like, what's the extent of that, you know? So I mean, I think Game Pass. I think Game Pass is very. Why is that? Why are there no good images for this? By the way, why is every image of Xbox Game Pass like super low quality? Oh well, it doesn't matter. We'll just use this. We'll just use this like freaking 2005 looking ass render. This looks like some Windows Vista fucking movie maker type shit right here. What is this? Why does it look like this? Okay, there we go. Just freaking yeah. There we go. That's fine. That looks fine. But yeah, fucking Xbox Game Pass, bro. Xbox Game Pass at a Nintendo Direct. You know what times we're living in? What times we're living in where I can actually put that on here and it's like kind of serious. There's a hint of seriousness in that. And yeah, one last slot. Now listen, all right. At its core, this channel is about 2 franchises, all right? Mario and of course, Sonic the Hedgehog. Are they going to show any Sonic related things? Yes. I actually think yes. It's not going to be anything too interesting though. It's going to be Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I'm just gonna spoil that right off the bat. They're gonna show off Sonic Racing Crossworlds. They're gonna show it playing on the Switch 2, and this is gonna be during like the little partner section where they show all the people that they're gonna be all the studios they're gonna be working with on Switch 2. I think this is the most obvious thing that's gonna happen. I think it makes the most sense. Because this game technically hasn't been confirmed for Switch 2 yet. You know, like if you go to the website, there we go, Sega.com, not the Asia website, because you know for some reason that one comes up first. But yeah, you can see what platforms it's going to be on, and right here there's no Nintendo Switch 2. There's no Nintendo Switch 2 mentioned anywhere. Now, sure, these are the pre-orders, and I guess because the Switch 2 just isn't out yet, there's no pre-orders. But nowhere throughout this entire thing is Switch 2 mentioned. So I think they're gonna confirm this game for Switch 2 during this presentation, even if it's just a little sizzle reel part, like I'm thinking it's gonna be. Like, there's no way they don't. There's no way they don't confirm it here. You know, because it's Sonic, and Sonic games obviously sell best on Nintendo systems. So like this is a lock. I think this is pretty much a lock. Honestly, outside of the actual Nintendo stuff itself, this is probably the most likely thing to actually be here. Let's be for real. This is probably the most likely thing we're actually going to see in this. So yeah. I guess that's it. I guess that is the bingo sheet. Wow, dude. This is getting me hyped, man. This is getting me hyped. Now listen, okay, I should also say, as always, whenever we do these bingo tables, I do not, and I repeat, do not expect any of this to happen. Any of it. Even the most even the most likely of likeliest things to happen could just not happen. They could just not show it. You know, they could fucking go crazy and not show us how the fucking mouse works. They could go crazy and not tell us when the console is going to come out. They could go crazy and not have fucking Mario Kart there. You know, that could happen. All right, just bear that in mind. Nintendo works in mysterious ways that none of us could possibly comprehend at the best of times. So the chances of literally any of this happening are just extremely low. Okay, well, I wouldn't say that. But nothing's 100%. Nothing's 100%. So I'm not expecting it. I'm not going to be disappointed if, you know, none of these things happen, or if there's a certain amount of these things that don't happen or whatever. But if they do, all right, and we actually get all of this happen in that event, yeah, best Nintendo event, like, ever. Obviously. But that's what we always want, right? We always want the best Nintendo event ever, but it's whether or not we're actually going to get that. I think it's going to be a great event, though. I think this is going to be one for the books, bro. Absolutely. They're going to make history with this thing. Even though the Switch 2 is going to be a more iterative console compared to what we're usually used to getting, I think it's just like... I think just the amount of hype around this thing is going to be enough to like really make this like the biggest deal that it could possibly ever be. So, at the end of the day, like, this thing is going to be fucking hype regardless. Like, regardless of what they show, like, this thing is going to absolutely be amazing. It's going to be a moment in history. And there's no goddamn chance in the world I'm going to miss it for absolutely anything. Also, I was going to look something up here. Oh, yeah. Switch to... Oh, I just want to change the Pro Controller image because I feel like that's... I maybe didn't pick the best image for that. I just want to see if there's maybe a clearer one that I could go... What the... Why the fuck is this a GameCube control? What the hell? You know what? I like this. I actually really... To be fair, that is basically what the patent looks like. This is pretty much what the patent looks like. I mean, it is not going to look like this. No, you know, I'll just use the patent image. I'll just use the patent image. I'll use a white one, though, because... yeah, that red one is, like, super hard to read. Like, you can't really see it. There we go. You can see it a bit better in this one. You can definitely see it just a little bit better in this one. Okay. Oh, fuck. Put that shit back exactly where it's supposed to be. There we go. Okay. And then we can put you down here. There we go. Expand. And, oh, fuck. Okay. Now you can't see the text, so I gotta put a freaking outline on it. There we go. Ah, all right. Cool. That's what I'm looking for. All right, cool. So, that is the official Extra Zone Arcade. Switch to presentation, switch to direct, prediction, bingo table. I'm happy with that. I'm very happy with that. I love just the C, but the C right here. This just encapsulates everything. You know, I feel like this really just speaks to me on a different level. That just speaks to me on a different level right there. But anyways, yeah, I'm happy with this, man. I think again, regardless of what happens, this event is going to be some real hype, and I cannot wait, bro. I cannot wait. But also just to quickly talk about the potential of the launch of this system. You know, what's it going to look like? What's it going to look like? Well, my prediction that I made way back, I kind of want to go back to that. I kind of want to go back to that original prediction I had made, which was this one right here, where I tried to predict Nintendo's 2025. Now, you know, none of this stuff is happening in quite the order we expected, but basically, what did I put here? So I put Pokemon and Metroid releasing towards the end of the year. Now these are the two big ones. Also, I guess I put the new Super Mario Bros. The new 3D Mario game there. But you know, this is more likely to be Mario Kart. So yeah, Metroid Prime and Pokemon Legends. Those are going to release towards the end of the year. I'm thinking Metroid is going to be kind of an October Halloweenish release. Pokemon, I think, will be the holiday title, probably going to release around November. Pokemon games typically do. Especially because we don't have release dates for those games just yet. But it does make sense for that to be kind of the frame of time that those come out. In terms of the launch titles, I think Mario Kart, like as in the games that come out on the same day with the system, I think Mario Kart, the Zelda bundle, and the new IP. I think those are going to be the three that come out with it. GameCube support for Switch Online as well might be a launch thing. So I can see that happening. 3D Donkey Kong, I don't think is going to release this year. I think that would be a next year thing. I think that's going to be a 2026 thing. Elden Ring will probably... Elden Ring will drop with the DLC whenever that happens, probably around the summer again. You know, the Master Chief Collection... the Master Chief Collection and Warzone, I can see those also being launch titles. Mario Maker 3... I can see dropping... I think that could end up being a 2026 game as well. Because I don't know how much they're going to want it to release around the new 3D Mario, which next to Pokemon is going to be the other... Bro, get out of here. Next to the new 3D Mario, that's going to be the holiday title for the year. You know, they're going to have those come out around the same time. Mario and Pokemon both being holiday titles would be fucking crazy, by the way, but I really do think it might happen. And then what else? yeah, just some of the other third-party games will release in between around summertime, around fall time. I think. I guess if Mario Maker 3 does come out this year, that'd probably be where it releases. But I think honestly that could be 2026. And then Smash Bros. Smash Bros. Might not even be 2026. I could honestly see that being like 2027. Now, Nintendo doesn't typically release their announce their games like that early, but it is Smash, to be fair. So if there's any time where they could maybe get away with doing that, it would be that. Just to kind of say like, hey, it's in development, expect it to come out around 2027 or maybe late 2026. It definitely won't be this year though. Like if they do announce a new Smash, it won't be this year. There's no way. Like this, like if they fucking did that, this would actually be Nintendo's most stacked year of all time. Like actually, it would be. And I don't even think that's up for debate. Like, bro, that would be nuts. That would be nuts. Like that would be better than like 2023 or 2017 or goddamn 2010. They had a lot of games in 2010. That was a great year for Nintendo. Yeah. So what else could we see? You know, Tomodachi Life is obviously releasing in 2026. So that will probably have some Switch 2 enhancements to it. Most likely it will. So that will probably be the best way to experience that. And yeah, I feel like that's basically going to be the launch window. You know, we're going to get some other stuff as well. Capcom Fighting Collection 2 is coming out. And I think that might be a summer release. I get a feeling that might be a summer release. So, you know, that would probably coincide with actually the Switch 2's launch. We're getting stuff like, as well, Deltarune Chapter 3 and 4 on the indie side. That's probably going to be around full time as well, I imagine. Or hell, again, maybe you know, Toby Fox. You know, Toby Fox is, you know, has contact in Nintendo, so maybe they work something out, and that's actually going to drop alongside the new console as well. So that could, bro, launch day for this thing might go fucking crazy. Like, I just want to let it be known, launch day for this thing might actually go really fucking crazy. Like this has potential to be like the best Nintendo launch ever. If we just get all of that, like if we get all of that stuff, like this would be crazy. And yeah, I think that's what I can see happening. I think that's definitely what I can see happening. I think, yeah, the thing's going to retail for probably £350, $400. And yeah, the June release date is looking more and more likely at this point. The June release date is looking more and more likely, especially if pre-orders are set to go up like after the presentation, like, or at least within that week. Yeah, there's no way it's not. There's no way it's going to be any later than that. Like, they wouldn't make it. They wouldn't make us wait that long, would we? Would they? They wouldn't make us wait that long. Plus, you know, six months between the initial announcement and the reveal. I mean, no, 6 months between the initial reveal and the thing actually coming out was about the same cycle we got for the Switch 1. It's about the same cycle we got for the Switch 1. Maybe just a little bit longer, but it was about the same. So that does track. That does track with what they've done before, which you know, isn't something you should usually rely on for Nintendo. You know, looking for patterns is not usually the way to go when it comes to how this company operates, but it is one way to look at things. So yeah, I think that's what we got in store, man. A new era is upon us, bro, and I absolutely cannot freaking wait. Cause yeah, man, like this is gonna be the first Nintendo era where I'm gonna be there for the whole ride. I'm gonna be there through the entire thing for the first one. So this is kind of a huge moment for us here, but also just a huge moment in general. You know, whenever Nintendo drops a new system, like you know it's gonna go crazy. You know it's gonna go crazy. Obviously, even stuff like the Wii U. You know, like the Wii U maybe didn't have the best launch, and maybe didn't have the best life cycle, but like it's a new Nintendo system. You know, it's always exciting. They've always got something. They've always got like something interesting cooking, and I think this time is gonna be absolutely no different. So I'm super excited. But, you know, obviously the next stream is not going to be the Switch presentation because we still have one more stream before that. No idea what it's going to be. But, yeah, if you want to keep up to date with that and also, you know, make sure you're there for the live reaction of the Switch 2 presentation, which fucking believe me, bro. you are not going to want to miss it. You are absolutely not going to want to miss it. Like, there is no better place to be than here for that. It's going to be so hype. It's going to be absolutely fucking hype. So yeah, make sure you're here. Make sure you're subbed. Make sure you're liking the videos and sharing them for that algorithm so that everyone can see it. All right, I want to get as many people in here as possible for that reaction, for that unveiling that we're finally going to get. And yeah, like it's going to be amazing. It is truly going to be something amazing. Like it's going to be a very special moment. You know, I'm also going to have something of a personal announcement to make during that, which might kind of run counter to a lot of what I just said. But don't worry about it. You know, it's nothing too major. It's nothing too major. It's just, well, I mean, it is major for the channel, but you know, it's something necessary, and I think at the end of the day, it's going to be a good thing. So, you know, don't worry too much about that. I mean, technically, I already made the announcement, but you know. There's that. You're gonna get to see the full-on confirmed announcement that I'm gonna have. So you know, it's not just Nintendo that's gonna be announcing stuff that day. You know, I'm gonna have one of my own too. So you know, do make sure to stay tuned throughout the whole thing for that. And yeah, I guess with that being said, this is it, guys. This is it, guys. Heading into the week that is gonna change everything forever. All right, it's It's only gonna change my life forever. You know what I mean? So just, hey man, make sure you're locked in. Make sure you're locked in, because this is gonna be something crazy. It's gonna be something crazy. Can't wait. Cannot freaking wait. All right. Well, until next time, take care. Have yourselves a fantastic weekend, and yeah, see you later.